When I'm unmedicated, it's like trying to walk through mud. It's like you can think, but it's very, very slow and murky and you can't focus on anything. I know for a fact if I don't get it done now, I will never get it done and it will just keep making my life worse and worse and worse. So I was like, I need to get this sorted. A lot of people have this misconception that ADHD people are lazy. One thing a lot of ADHD people get told when they're young is that like you have a lot of potential. When you apply yourself, you know, it's a medical condition. You can't really just practice wellness and pray it away, right? Primary school was a lot worse because I was young and I didn't know how to control it. I would draw on the table. One of my school teachers tried to confiscate my sketchbook. I suspected I had ADHD, like early teens. I used to do this thing where I would just read random things on Wikipedia. There's a lot of resources about ADHD online. I would read about it and then I would relate to it.
While there are more and more online information about ADHD, not all of them are in line with the current medical understanding. It's a neurodevelopmental condition characterized by pervasive, inattentive and/or hyperactive and impulsive symptoms. The symptoms should be apparent since childhood. So there are some children who are not aware of their symptoms when they are younger until they are much older. Self-reported childhood symptoms is usually not sufficient in a clinical assessment. You can resonate with the symptoms, but you might not have ADHD.
In response to a significant surge in COVID-19 cases.
So when pandemic roll around and they forced us all to stay home, we had the whole like work from home thing. I didn't know how to deal with. Suddenly, I have no more structure in my life and it all broke down. I would attend a meeting, it would be like 1 hour and then I'll go back to sleep. And then I will wake up like 3 hours later. There is no boundary between your work and your sleep. And because of that, like my quality of work suffered a lot. He did try to understand, but like in the end, like he has a company to run, you know. So he had to let me go. It's like the catalyst for trying to get it fixed. And I feel like I have enough potential and good skills to put to use. Either I can sit around and like pity myself or I can get help and then I can go live my life. I went to chat and told them my symptoms and then they referred me to IMH.
How is ADHD being diagnosed in the clinics? Extensive history taking, basically information about from the time when someone is born until the time when someone is presenting in the clinic to actually rule out whether there's any presence of conditions that can mimic ADHD. For example, depression, anxiety, drug use, or even some non-psychiatric physical health condition that can affect our attention. Unfortunately, there are no one test or scan currently that are diagnostic of ADHD.
I was diagnosed last year. When I'm on the medication, it feels like I'm wiping like the fog off my glasses. So Chet then referred me to a counsellor from Wings. I do feel irritated sometimes that I can't do the things that I want to do, but she did help me through like saying like it's not really my fault. Depression and anxiety is definitely real for people with ADHD because a lot of them grow up thinking that they are like lazy and just morally terrible people for not catching up with their peers or whatever. I think it's a good thing to like educate parents, educate teachers on like the science of ADHD. Don't tell kids that they're lazy, man. Just sit them down, you know, like understand like maybe why they're procrastinating or why they don't want to do this thing, do that thing.
There has been genetic studies about ADHD that shows that ADHD symptoms exist in a spectrum. So it's not a clear-cut black and white or yes and no pigeonholes of ADHD versus no ADHD. Some points I would like to send to the public about ADHD. Everyone is born different, you know, with different strengths and weaknesses. Embracing individual differences might be equally or not more important than figuring out whether someone has ADHD or not. I will still encourage everyone to seek help if you find the need to, but please be open-minded, you know, when you are speaking to a doctor.